Good morning. Good morning and welcome to Smooth Breakfast. That's assuming you just tuned in, but I do not believe that you just tuned in. I feel like you've been listening since. Thank you so much for joining this conversation. But in case you just tuned in, welcome. Good morning to you and welcome, Tega. Hi.
Good
Hi, Tega.
morning.
Hello.
How is everything doing?
It's going well.
Well, let me tell you as usual, you know how we start the locker
Yeah.
room. So, hot gossip. Anyways, life is like a donut, is all I can say. No matter how fluffy on the outside, there must be hole in the center.
Oh boy.
And that's how the Olympics are. So, of
Ah.
all the things at
Yes.
the Olympics this year
Yes.
that they wanted to fight about is cloth.
Oh, apparently, I saw
Hmm.
would I say costume wars that
Okay,
was
the
going on.
costume was
Yes.
so it started with the Norwegian beach handball players. So apparently the women are supposed to wear like bikini cut bottoms, and then the top with their midriff showing. Now, the bikini cut bottoms is not just ordinary bikini cut bottoms. It has to have a specific cut, so 4 inches high, over the pelvic line. Really, then V at the back. So basically, like the beach volleyball, but it's supposed to be. It's always been that way. So these women decided that they're going to wear shorts. Nothing religious, nothing dramatic. They just wanted to wear shorts on the day. Eventually, they got fined for wearing wrong clothing.
Apparently.
So that was on the beach handball side, Abby. Then on the gymnast side, an athlete was told not to compete because her clothes were too revealing. So on this side, she's not naked enough. On this side, she's too naked.
Wow.
That's how the German
Like-
gymnasts now carried the wahala on their head. They said they're going to wear full body suits. When they see who's going to tell them what to do. And now this is Germany. They are a superpower. So there's how you're even going to
my
approach their
goodness.
athletes.
You can't
So-
talk to them anyhow.
Exactly. So they're not saying that they're not going to wear whatever else, but they're just saying today for the first round, we're going to wear full body suits. Let's see who will tell us anything. That people should stop policing what the women are wearing. So yes, that's the war the Olympics committee is dealing with right now.
Damn if you do, damn if you don't.
I'm telling you, life is like a donut,
I'm
darling.
telling you. Please send messages through WhatsApp 0809 It's our WhatsApp number. You can call when it's time for the call 01448991. But I'm excited to introduce a friend and I call it colleague because it seems like they've been doing this show with us for a while.
Yeah, they've been doing this show. So our
Bet King.
sponsors, Bet King,
Yep.
are in the studio.
Ni Omotayo. Good morning.
Hi,
Welcome
good
to the
morning.
studio.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
How are you feeling this morning? Monday, fresh day.
Very fine. Very fine.
Wonderful.
Very fine. Thank you.
It's my pleasure to welcome you to the locker room. It's a highly energetic show, and I'm sure you already feel the energy. You came with good news, good tidings, eh? First of all, I hear there's a new package that you just launched, Bet Insured.
Yeah.
Tell us about that, please.
So I would say it's a new package. It's unfortunate that many people are not. It's not really a household name yet, but it's been in existence since 2016, and it's Bet Insured.
Wow.
So Bet Insured is Africa's biggest sport prediction service, with over 1.2 million users from 70 countries. So we are set up just to ensure users are making money from sport betting. It's unheard of, but that's why we are set up. So we actually what works for us is, or what's our goal is to ensure sport bettors are making money from sport betting. That's what we do.
That's good. So beyond just winning, we're making money.
Yeah, that's
Like
the
an
word.
investment.
Bet Insured.
Making money.
It's
bet is
guaranteed. Yes, now.
So you can't lose. You have to win.
You have to win.
You have to win. What are some of the benefits that we should look forward to? Maybe some of the features or stuff like that.
So, like I said, Bet Insured was set up to make users win. So the main thing is one of the major benefits is you win. That's the first thing. Every other thing comes as secondary. You win maybe more often than not, or maybe you win more, but it's just to win. That's what it's set up.
Omotayo, when we look around, we see that activity in betting world increases when there is a sports event, it's UEFA Championship, something is happening. Now it's Tokyo Olympics. Everybody's the signage of all eyes.
Yeah.
How do we capitalize on this Tokyo Olympics to win with BetKing?
So the thing is this, unlike every other, service like us, because like I said, we're set up in 2015. We are probably even one of the first in Nigeria, in Africa, that's going large scale. So the thing is, we are set up to ensure, like I said before, to make money from sport betting, and one thing about the Olympics is that many people don't know, what to bet on because many people don't have an idea. For example, at the moment now we have the Russian Olympic Committee and Japan playing in a basketball game.
Bro, slow down. Russian
Olympic Committee.
Committee. You know,
Yeah.
people are writing these things down. Right? You
Yeah,
have
of
somebody with small paper.
So
right now.
ROC right now
Yeah.
and Japan are playing 3x3
Yeah.
right now.
Tega, I'm surprised you're swaying into this. Because usually people call in to ask, Tega, what should we bet on? But Tega was like, I don't.
Did you hear that there's money to women?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course. So, like I said, so the thing is, of course, many users out there don't know. They don't have statistics. They don't know what to bet on. So, because we have experts on board, we have people that are vested into this. We can tell you, okay, now you could play maybe X, Y, Z and make this amount of money, put in this amount of investment. So that's what we're set up. So the thing is, for events like this, Tokyo 2020, this is where we come in because we are vested into this. So people can just rely on our predictions, rely on our information and make money.
Apart from that Russia game thing, you said ROC and all that.
Yeah.
What other games are available?
Whatever.
Yeah. So the thing is, we have at the moment because we are so vested. I'm going to give you maybe a little piece of insider information. No. We're going to get there.
I love it.
So the thing is, unlike probably football or everything,
Yes.
this Olympics has a lot of games that are not well known. Even there's some games that are not supposed to be bet on. For example, you have I'm not going to mention the game, but there are some particular matches that or particular sport events that do not make sense to bet on. So our job is to bring out those ones. Sift even though the betting site will not tell you.
That's good.
The betting site will not tell you. So our job is to sift those out and to ensure that we have just the best games that are neutral, that are predictable, and just to ensure that you keep winning. So out of maybe 200 sporting events or more, or maybe, so we just have about 10 that are well vested in, and we're going to give it out there so that people win. So we have things like handball, rugby, volleyball, badminton.
Those
things
are
we
able
have
to.
football.
Is cricket in there as well?
No, we don't have.
Why give me that look?
Yeah. So I don't think cricketing is there, but then we have just a list of 10 sports that are that we are showing you that this sports in the Olympics you should be cashing out.
He
on a
said
regular.
sports.
Sporting
That's
events.
the first thing you should know. Some things are not sports. I didn't say that. It's sport. Cricket sport. Cricket sport.
Oh, please.
Calm down.
Don't make my mind travel this morning. There's some things that are sport, really? But how do we spot those sports out, the ones that we can bet on?
Okay, so the thing is most of the time, okay, I'm going to give you another insider information. Okay, for example,
I like this guy.
we look at things like UFC. UFC like
Tega,
fight.
can you hear?
Yeah.
UFC.
UFC, and then it looks so I could bet on this, but the truth is those kind of outcomes are totally unpredictable.
See why I say it's not
totally
sports.
you can only guess, to be honest. So
Guessing is okay.
you can only
We
guess.
do it every day. Sometimes you come out, you don't even know it's going to rain, but you go out anyway.
So you can only guess. But then our job is to ensure, okay, guy, don't do this. There's something else to do, And then we do that every day. Ensure you make money every day. So different sporting events, just subscribe with us or work with us, and we give you.
You find people. Thank you so much, Ni Omotayo, from BetKing, by the way, if you're listening.
Yeah.
You find people who say that they are not find people. Actually, see some people glued to the websites, glued to the channels where you get this information out there every day, as if there's a treasure hunt happening. I feel that there's something there, but a lot of people listening right now, most of them might not have access to this site. So could you please share the details, websites, information, if there's a way we can contact you to get inside information?
Sure.
No insider information. That's for the people here.
Well,
Okay. So the website is very straightforward: www.betensured.com. Now we have been in partnership.
Sorry. I would like you to spell it.
Bet Ensured, BET, that's for bet, and Ensured, ENSURED.com.
It's good. Thank you.
So we've been in partnership with BetKing since 2018. And it's an ongoing partnership. We ensure our users. One thing about our services, our users get BetKing codes, and that's why we're here. Exclusive BetKing codes. So we make betting easy.
Are those
for our
like
users.
discount codes or just
No. So
Ensure codes?
what codes do is, for example, now we give you matches, and then you don't know where to pick it from. What you do is, it's a bit cumbersome. You have to start searching. But betting codes, all we have to just book the code and share. It's more like a code for everyone. And then they pick the codes, put it on betting websites, and all the games we predicted are showing once. Immediately. Nice. So it's very straightforward. We can even recommend how much to bet on it. That's what we do. We also have some particular services where we can even tell users, I mean, manage your bet. So you got like a 24/7 customer service called expert advisor. So we reach out to you on WhatsApp or Skype, and then we just manage, tell you how to place bets, what bets to place today, and it's a daily service. It's all around the year.
There's always a way to make money.
Of course, of course.
So it's www.betensured.com.
Betensured.com.
Neo Motaro from BetKing, thank you so much. You've spiced up our morning. I
It's a
like how
pleasure.
today's locker room started.
It's a pleasure.
It's good.
Yes.
After giving them freebies like this.
I'm gonna give everybody one more freebie. I mean, just for those of
nice.
exclusively for BetKing, for those of us that know what to do with it. And for those that don't know what to do with it, I mean, I'm telling you, register on betking.com now.
Now.
Yeah, but then this is what you need: a booking code, 3 odds booking code. I'm going to call it out directly from Bet Insured for BetKing users. So FKR5N, FKR5N, 3 odds.
That's it.
That's
That's
it.
it.
Yeah,
FKR5.
KR5N. Yes.
All right.
This might just be my entry.
Thank you so much for
pleasure.
joining us.
Thank you, Motayo.
Thank you.
Nee,
It's a
thank you
pleasure.
so much. Huh?
Thank you.
All
enjoy,
right.
enjoy your day. You're gonna have a good day.
And you too.
I
Thank
like
you.
people like you. Well done.
All right then.
All right, let's
So,
start.
Now let's go to the
The Tigers. Nigeria's the Tigers failed to sustain the tempo they started with and fell by 17 points to Australia in their opening Group B game of the Tokyo 2020 Olympics basketball event. The Boomers took the initiative in the second half after Nigeria made it a close game in the first 2 quarters and forced them to narrow 43-40 lead at halftime.
Yes, so it was a very I would say this. You remember again, Nigeria met Australia in the exhibition games. They were a tough opponent. We had defeated at the time. Nigeria had defeated the US. They had also defeated Argentina. Unfortunately, we met Australia and they defeated us. And I thought that would give us an insight into how Nigeria should approach Australia, especially as it was their first game at the Olympics, the same group and all. But they got into it, and it looked like they had learned a little bit of lesson. And so it was a very close battle for the first 2 quarters, or the first half, like some people call it. But the first 2 quarters, it was a close battle. First half ended with only 3 points difference. That third half was mad explosion.
Whoa.
And here's what again, it's in-game management that's the problem with Nigeria. So the Australians read the Nigerians game. Nigeria did not read Australians game. So what they did was first of all they chased us off the perimeter line. So our 3-point shooting went drastically down because every time there was somebody on the perimeter trying to knock down a 3, there was a guard in your face stopping you or chasing you out. So the person had to move position, which means that his foot was not set, which means that even when he took the shot, the bucket would not be made. So their perimeter defense was first. So they caught our knees with 3-point shooting, and then they forced us to make extra passes. And I've watched Nigeria's ball movement. It's not the best. It's not the most fluid. And I think that's another thing that Coach Brown has to work on.
Yes.
The ball movement. And so because we don't know how to move the ball that quickly, it was again easy for Australia to close us out, and so we struggled with scoring. And so since we're perfect defensively, I've always said the best form of offense is defense. And since we're perfect defensively, they knew how to set up offensively. And it was in that third quarter that they opened up a gap and of course pulled away from the game, and it was kind of over for us. So again, we look, Australia are not an easy team to beat. The fact that we lost to Australia in our first game does not discount the fact that we beat the US team or we beat Argentina. And the US team also lost again to France.
For good measure.
For good measure. This is a team that, they had a 25-game winning streak at the Olympics. Then they get to the Olympics, they lose to France. Now, that's not shocking if you consider the fact that the French players, they have some good French players in the NBA. But I think the biggest issue was Coach Popovich's offense. They were trailing by a whole lot in the first half. They came back in the second half, even took the lead, looked like they were going to go on from there to win. Unfortunately, playing down the stretch, some players are good, but they're not in form right now. So for a player like Damian Lillard, buckets weren't dropping for him. I didn't see why he had so many minutes. At that point in time, it's better to stop the opponent from making buckets than to try to force yourself to make buckets. And so US were trying to force themselves to make buckets, and they missed 4 buckets back to back to back. And that's where, again, you have to read your in-game management. And international football is different from the NBA. The NBA is a bit more flash and dash. International football is tactical and structured. So at the end of the day, US lost, Nigeria lost. We hope that we win our second game, Sha.
Hope so. On that note, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more Inside the Locker Room. Yeah. Goody goody.
Intel Home Broadband device.
Okay.
Your home is
Come back with
connected,
Naomi
and you
Osaka.
all can
Yeah.
focus on the
So,
important
how
things
many-
in life.
who's
Enjoy
next?
the finer
Naomi.
things in
Do,
life
do,
with
do,
the
do,
Airtel
do.
HBB seasonal offer. Visit
Thank
any
you.
certified
Thank
Airtel
you.
shop to get a 4G
Yeah,
Wi-Fi
open so that,
at
during the break.
9,999 naira plus up to
We don't have to say why.
55
All right, we'll have 2 minutes.
19,999
just
look
for
nice.
that
plus
2
up to
minutes, let's manage
160
ourselves.
gigabyte
Well done.
bonus data.
Yeah,
Offer valid while stock
so what is
lasts.
that?
Terms and conditions apply. Airtel, the smartphone network.
You want to find your perfect
And that's
match,
it.
the right girl
So,
or guy,
nice.
a job that
I like your
showcases
frame.
your talent, a
Thank
house
you.
that fits
I feel
your
like you have
taste.
many frames.
How about the right mattress that suits your body
I think
build,
I just have
age,
one
lifestyle,
plenty
budget?
face. When I pack my hair up, it looks different. When I pack my hair down, it looks different.
I'm telling you.
For any Mooka
Looks
outlet,
like a
find
new
the right
frame.
Mooka for you.
Looks
Endorsed
like
by
a
medical
new
experts.
frame.
Mooka gives your body the support it needs so you wake up feeling good and ready to take on the day. Mooka, adding
was it.
comfort to life.
Yeah.
So who's
Go ahead,
next?
enjoy himself, huh? Naomi.
After
A
Naomi, who's
major
next?
part of
Tokyo
being a parent
Olympics.
is being
Tunisia's
present.
Mali.
Stay
Talking about
engaged
Tokyo Olympics.
and be
What
a
Naomi?
parent you want to be
Maui.
with
Okay, so
Axel
what we'll do
Life
is,
with
so
short-term
what we'll do
benefits.
is 155 minutes. Start doing like this, so I get
Thank
ready.
you.
Cashback and permanent disability
I have
covers.
one more ad. and
Call
we're back.
0700
So 155 minutes, we do this, so I'm
today
ready.
All right.
to speak to
Because
an
there are so
AXA
many
financial advisor.
Fantastic things happening.
You've waited so long, and now the doors are wide open for you to join MTN, the yellow family. That's got the coverage and reliable data network in Nigeria. Just walk into select MTN stores nationwide, buy a new MTN SIM, and turn it up with mouth-watering airtime and data bonuses on the yellow network. So hurry up and get your SIM today. Visit
Thank you. You can shut it down.
MTNonline.com/SIM to locate the
You say
closest
foul,
sales
you
stores
go.
near you.
What are you
Everywhere
saying?
you go, MTN.
That's
My
a
name
foul
is
now.
Olive Emody,
Studio.
lawyer, actor, MC, and all things media, and you're listening to the Smooth Breakfast Show with Valentine and Ayo.
Happy birthday, Olive Emadi. Today's her birthday. So
Oh,
great to hear you
yeah.
bring us back to the show. You're listening to the Locker Room 981 on Smooth Breakfast at 18 minutes past 9 o'clock with Ayo Marose and Valentine Ohu. And Tega. I'm not Jaife. Hi, Tega.
Hiya.
What's up?
I like, I'm seeing people's messages. People too like money
I'm
in this
telling you.
locker room. You like money.
Cruz says, see goody goody everywhere inside Studio Sha, courtesy of Tega and the betting peoples. And then with so much love struck emojis. And he adds, Valolo, Pico, mute the mic, the betting game manager used. Be like, sis. You're in the studio, right? You're watching live on YouTube, by the way. I guess
Yeah, that's
how
why
it is.
you're getting inside information. So join us on YouTube.
Yes.
See my new frames.
Just type in the
Yes,
in the search
I've
bar.
finally hit that age where you have to. You
You're
need
changing
help.
that.
Where you need help with your eyesight.
I can't. Tega, I can't. All right, let's go to talk about more sports stories inside the Olympics because that's really what's in our face.
Yeah.
Japan's Naomi Osaka cruised into the third round of the Tokyo Olympics women's singles with a 65-minute victory over Victoria Golubic. Now, second seed Osaka, the favorite for the gold medal, following Ashley Barty's first round exit, beat the Swiss 6-3, 6-2. According to her, when she was interviewed by American TV, she was quoted as saying, "The flag is next to my name no matter what tournament I play, but I feel like the scale of this is much bigger. It's something I've been waiting for 8 years."
Yes, so the scale of this is much bigger for her, and a lot of Japanese, they're being pushed by the fact that they're playing at home. Even Kei Nishikori knocked out Andrei Rublev
Whoa.
in the first round in the men's tournament. So again, things that you will not necessarily see at other tournaments, you'll see here. But Naomi Osaka is a good hard court player. So this is where she thrives. And then she's playing at home in a tournament where she's missed a few months. after taking a break for mental health issues. So she's back right now. She's focused. A good one for her. She's through. Ashley Barty fell at the first hurdle. So of course the next person in waiting is the world number 2. Since the world number 1 has crashed out, the gold has to be Naomi Osaka on her favorite surface. But she also has the likes of Gabinye Muguruza, who also blitzed through her own match and is through to the third round. So a little interesting on the tennis side for the men and the women's tennis.
That's beautiful. Tega, thank you so much for that. Beautiful management of time. Anyway, so Tunisian swimmer, this I'm watching very closely, Ahmed Hafnawi took a shock gold medal in the men's 400-meter freestyle on Sunday. The 18-year-old won from the outside lane after qualifying slowest, but finished with stunning pace to beat Australia's Jack McLaughlin actually, with a time of 3 minutes 43.36 seconds.
Okay, this one was shocking from nowhere. So, which is why I always tell people, when you go out doing something, whether it's at your job, whether it's personally in training, whatever it is you aim to do, don't compare yourself to anybody. You see, these athletes, they know who has the fastest times when they line up. They know. When they go there, they don't go and compete against, if I'm lining up against a Ledecky. Katie Ledecky is the world record holder for swimming. She was beaten again yesterday. But if I'm lining up against Katie Ledecky, I'm not saying, I want to compete with Katie Ledecky's time. Usually what they do is try to beat their fastest time. And sometimes in beating their fastest time, they end up winning gold. That's what it is.
I posted this yesterday about Ledecky.
Yeah, in beating them, but she was beaten yesterday.
Yeah.
But in beating their fastest time, they end up winning the world record. So don't be comparing yourself to other people. Just always go out to be your best, which is what this guy did. He was on the line of the 8 people that stood yesterday. He was the slowest qualifier. So ideally you expect that he will come last, Abi.
Yes.
He was he was the first to touch the wall, baby. The first. And so I saw when he won the gold medal, I saw a lot of people say Africa has got their first medal. When Italy wins, you don't hear Europe has got their first medal. You hear Italy has got his first medal. So let's not, if we keep lumping ourselves out as one country, the rest of the world will keep lumping us together as one country. Tunisia won its medal. Nigeria should go and win our own. Unfortunately, the way it has been going, it's just been tough. They've been beating us in table tennis. Even this morning.
Don't say it.
It was just.
We can surprise anybody.
Yeah, we can surprise, but so far they beat us in rowing, they beat us in taekwondo, and they beat us in table tennis. Wow. So
what's left?
There's still a lot left. We still have wrestling. Oduayo, come on, baby.
Do you know?
World number 2.
Please, we're coming.
Whoa.
Thank you.
Don't try me.
Let's talk about Norway. Norway's Christian Blumenfeld backed his endurance to take the string out of 2 young hotshot rivals as he delivered a devastating late surge to break clear of a sweltering run leg and take gold in thrilling men's Olympic triathlon on Monday.
Yes, so huge one again. I remember what I said about when you get on the line, compete with your time.
Yes.
So the triathlon is basically, they start with the swimming, and then they go across it's open waters. So you swim across the open waters. You come out, you do the cycling. It's a triathlon now. Then you do the cycling, and then after the cycling, you now do the marathon.
Requires a lot
And you
of
end.
endurance.
It's literally an endurance sport.
Yes.
So if you see them, they look like they're competing in endurance sport. But this guy, he finished 13th at Rio 2016. So he was again pushing himself to see if he can better his own time, not knowing that he was going to better everybody's time. So he was I think he was 3 seconds off the 2016 record. 2016 finished, I think, 1 hour 45 minutes and 1 second. He finished 1 hour 45 minutes and 4 seconds. So 3 seconds off. So really huge one for him. The 2 guys that were chasing him from Great Britain and from New Zealand were young. They're like 23. This guy is 40.
You're just taking his time.
In fact, when they finished swimming, he was 25 seconds off the pace of everybody else, and 25 seconds is a long time.
That means he's
So he's in training since. It was in the marathon, because even in cycling he didn't make up the place. It was in the marathon that he really made up the place. Unfortunately for me, at this event, I was expecting the Brownlee brothers to win. So one Brownlee brother who won London Olympics and Rio Olympics, he didn't come. But his brother Johnny, who finished with silver and bronze, I thought he was actually going to medal. He finished fifth. So yeah, from Great Britain. So I think himself and his brother, they usually pace each other, but maybe because his brother wasn't there, they weren't able to pace each other. But really, really brilliant one. For the triathlon, that one happened this morning. Yes. So at two. So you can imagine your sister at 2:30 a.m. That's what she was doing, watching triathlon.
Just around the time I wanted to swim. I shouldn't. Anyway, Brazil could have moved to the brink of qualification for the knockout stage in Yokohama, but were denied by a stubborn Ivory Coast. Could have been worse, though, as they had to play more than an hour with 10 men after Aston Villa midfielder Douglas Lewis 13-minute red card for bringing down Yusuf Dao when he was through on goal. France would have been staring at an early exit with a slip-up against South Africa, but veteran striker Gignac rescued Le Blues with a pulsating match in Saitama.
Okay, so let me start with the Brazil Cote d'Ivoire game, because African teams were involved on the day. Lots of African teams. All the African teams were involved on the same day. Egypt losing to Spain by 1-0. Egypt plays the most exciting football, but they need to add a little bit of structure, and I think that's where they lose it, because their football tactically, aesthetically, is just beautiful to watch. Unfortunately, because of the way they play, maybe they play the beauty a bit much more than they play the structure, and so by the time they set up to create or score goals, defenses are already set. So I think that's something they need to work on. But they were beaten by Spain, who got their first win finally, and then Cote d'Ivoire and Brazil. Now, that was a shocker. I was expecting Brazil to completely overrun Cote d'Ivoire. But 14 minutes into the game, they get a red card. And I thought, okay, this was Cote d'Ivoire's time to overrun Brazil. They didn't. Brazil was 10 man down. They were the dominating team. They were the one creating the chances. They were the one playing the ball.
What?
I was like, sorry, I just say 10 man down. They're 1 man down. Sorry. And they're bullying you all over the park like this. But Cote d'Ivoire eventually got their red card, and when they got their red card, that's when Brazil started piling on the pressure. Unfortunately, it was a little too late to try and get any results. So both teams go away with 1 point, and both teams are now on 4 points. So the final game is the hill that they're literally there on top. For France, South Africa though, that is not, if you want to teach defense in football, that's not the game you use. Because that game ended 4-3 in favor of France. And it was shocking the way it went. South Africa will score one brilliant goal. On the other end, France was poor though. I think the French team is like, they said, oh, who wants to go to Tokyo? And the first people that raised their hand, they just carried them to Tokyo. Because that team doesn't look like they even know each other. But they get there. As poor as you're playing, every time South Africa scored, France responded with a goal.
Oh my goodness.
Every time South Africa scored, France responded with a goal, and it was with their overage player. So really, really tough one, if you ask me, for South Africa, because they led up until the 4th goal. So it looked like they were going to be able to get away with the point. Then France snuck in and stole the last goal and stole all 3 points. So really, really tough one for South Africa now. They've lost their first 2 games. I don't know where they go to from here, but not the kind of outing. I mean, they put up a brave performance, but they've been to the last Olympics and were knocked out in group stage. Been to this Olympics and knocked out in group stage. Doesn't seem like there's much progress.
It's like, what's the plan?
Yeah, what's the plan? Yes.
Now let's touch on this final one if we have time for it. A former Liverpool player and midfielder, Georgino Wijnaldum, says that he didn't feel loved and appreciated by some during his time at the club. In his words, there was a moment when I didn't feel loved and appreciated. He was quoted as saying this to newspaper reporters.
Oh, well, what can I say? I mean, a player leaves a club and then he starts talking smack about the club. How cliche. He was saying it's not the players that it was mostly the fans, but I'm like, there's no need to be doing that. You've gone. Say goodbye, God bless, and just leave and go. There's no need to explain why you moved. We know you moved for money. And you have every right to do it because you're working for your money. So why are you coming here to say we're not loved? Please.
Tega, why are we leaving now? We're leaving now because we're out of time.
Yes, we're out of time.
Tega Onojaife is her name. You can check out especially her work with the ladies in sports at LIS International on all social media. Her name is Tega Onojaife, but you can call her at Tega Supreme. That's her handle. And you'll find it on the website. Of course, ladiesinsport.com. My name is Valentine Uhu here with Ayo Maris on Smooth Breakfast. Good morning.
Start your day.